So it's no secret that Dexter has faced some really creepy and horrifying killers, both in the TV show and in the books. But there isn't a single Dexter season or book that comes even remotely close to messing me up as much as Dexter's final cut did. The killers featured in this book actually made me physically ill, okay? And I'm a guy who usually struggles to feel any type of emotion while reading, except for being bored as hell. So what was it that disturbed me so much? Well, I can't tell you too much just yet without giving some context, but I can tell you this. It involves deformed eye sockets and genetic material in liquid format in places where it definitely doesn't belong. And one could argue that that's not even the worst part. By the way, it's not too late to click off this video. This is your last and only warning. Still here? Well, okay. Let's establish some context then. Dexter's Final Cut is the 7th novel in the Dexter book series by Jeff Lindsay. In the beginning, we are introduced to Robert Chase, A-list actor and Hollywood royalty, as well as his co-star Jackie Forrest. They're flown to Miami from Los Angeles to shadow the homicide team as research for a new police drama that they both are starring in. The show wants realism, so Robert, who will be playing the blood guy on screen, is assigned to shadow an actual blood spatter analyst, which of course happens to be Dexter Morgan. Jackie, who will be portraying the tough, hard-edged detective, is paired up with Dexter's sister, Deborah. Robert is described as being ruggedly handsome with perfect hair and trimmed mustache. He's made a name for himself playing edgy bad boys, and he's a method actor. The kind of actor who loses himself in his role and takes his job very, very seriously. To the outside world, he's smooth, charming and confident, but from the second he appears, Dexter senses that there is something off about him. He smiles too much, talks too much, and his energy feels off, almost like he never stops performing. But could you really expect anything else from a mega Hollywood star? At least that's what Dexter tells himself. To Dexter, Robert is just a narcissistic celebrity, always annoying and constantly in the way. Robert soon starts inserting himself into Dexter's routine and private life, mimicking him and asking way too many questions. At one point, Dexter even wonders if Robert might be into him and, gay. But yeah, that is not the case, because Robert is, to be fair, very much obsessed, just not with Dexter, okay? Robert is obsessed with someone else in Dexter's life. Cliffhanger. Because now we're moving on to Jackie Forrest, because this is very vital information to the plot, okay? Before we move on to the real disturbing stuff. Like I mentioned before, we're also introduced to Jackie Forrest. She's the female lead of the show and ironically the one with more star power than Robert himself. She's younger, hotter and frankly more relevant. Jackie has this kind of effortless charm to her, the kind that makes producers listen, cameras love her and fans obsesses. And while Robert hides it well, he hates her for it. You see, Robert is used to being number one, okay? But he's not in his prime anymore. And on this set, Jackie runs the show. She gets better lines, more screen time, and even her laugh gets featured in a TV comedy segment. Something Robert, let's put it mildly, don't take very well. He's an aging actor obsessed with power and control, watching his fame fade. And Jackie, she is all of Robert's problems personified. Soon, women start turning up dead across Miami. At first, the victims seem random, different neighborhoods, no connections, no pattern, but one detail keeps surfacing, and it's a detail that won't go unnoticed for very long. They all look just like Jackie Forrest. Same body type, same hair color, same vibe, everything. Judging by the state of the bodies, or at least what's left of them, Miami Metro Homicide comes to the conclusion that they were murdered with nothing but pure hatred and rage. Something that had to be personal, because no one would go through these extreme lengths unless it was very personal. The bodies are found heavily damaged, twisted and torn beyond recognition. Not clean kills, not ritualistic cuts, just raw, animalistic violence. As if the murderer wasn't human. Almost like there's a werewolf loose in Miami. One body is found with one of her eyes, not carved out but punctured, revealing a bodily fluid in the damaged eye socket that the murderer had left behind. Even Dexter, a man who kills people for fun, feels a chill down his spine. He's seen a lot of horrors in his life, but this is something else. The murderer doesn't just want to kill, he wants to punish and humiliate, and erase someone with every cell of his body. He uses his fists, his nails and his teeth and other more intimate body parts. Dexter begins to analyze what I think could possibly mean. He thinks that it's symbolic, that the killer wants to force someone to see him. To see only him and to watch him destroy her. That's when the theory forms. What if these women weren't random? What if there's someone out there who's targeting Jackie lookalikes? And what if these murders, as grotesque and deranged as they are, aren't the end goal after all? What if they are just practice? Okay, you know, just rehearsals for the real thing. While the reader suspects Robert to be behind the murderers, it's actually revealed to be an obsessive fan of Jackie's, named Patrick Berryman. So if you've seen my Every Dexter book with an explained video, this might come as a complete shock to you. Because when I recorded and edited that video, I believed that Robert Chase was the one who was behind the lookalike killings. But it actually turns out that I was completely wrong about that, okay? So I want to sincerely apologize for that. I feel pretty stupid, to be honest. But yeah, like the main reason why I decided to do this video is because I want to correct the errors and confusion about Robert Chase from my latest video. So yeah, I really hope you understand. So I'm basically Dexter, but instead of killing people, I'm accidentally spreading misinformation on the internet. Back to the story now. While all of these grotesque killings are happening, Dexter starts to fall for Jackie. At first, it's just surface level. She's beautiful, famous and mysterious, and she actually likes Dexter. When Dexter is assigned to protect her from the lookalike killer as a private bodyguard, they begin to spend a lot more time together. And for the first time in a very long time, Dexter starts to imagine a different life. A life with Jackie and a life without Rita and without the kids. Eventually, Dexter discovers that it's Patrick Berryman who's behind the lookalike murders. Dexter tracks him down, stalks him and kills him. Patrick is gone. No more threat, no more fear. Believing Jackie is finally safe, Dexter lowers his guard. And that's the exact moment when his short-lived Hollywood dream shatters. First, Jackie's assistant is found dead. Ripped up and gutted with one of her eyes missing. The police station is certain that this is the work of Patrick. Only Dexter knows this not to be true since, you know, the obsessed fan was currently somewhere on the bottom of the ocean. And Kathy, the assistant, wasn't blonde or particularly pretty in Dexter's eyes, which the previous victims were. And you probably figured this out right now, but the copycat killer is, of course, none other than Robert Chase, Hollywood's golden boy. But the reason why he decided to murder Kathy is arguably more disturbing than the murder itself. But before we dive into that, I have to explain what happened to Jackie. Moments after Dexter gets a panicked call from Rita about Astor gone missing, he stumbles into Jackie's trailer and finds her body. Stabbed, slashed and torn apart. Not too different from the others. Robert simply saw and took the opportunity to act out on his hatred toward his co-star without getting caught, and at the same time cover up his murder of Kathy, which Jackie actually had figured out. Speaking of Kathy, why did he kill her in the first place? Because unlike Jackie, Robert didn't hate her. Well, this is where the story somehow managed to get even darker. Kathy became Robert's victim because she saw something that she wasn't supposed to see. She caught Robert alone with Astor, Dexter's 12-year-old stepdaughter. And I think you know where this is going, okay? A famous beloved male actor in Hollywood with violent urges, caught alone with an underage girl, okay? I mean, it can't get more stereotypical than this. Robert had been grooming Astor for quite some time now, telling her that she had talent and that he would make her a movie star. There had always been whispers about Robert in Hollywood. Rumors about questionable preferences and private trips where he got access to young girls, but nothing ever stuck. Now it was no longer a rumor, okay, because Robert had been grooming Astor and Kathy walked in on it. So to protect the secret, he killed her, and to cover his tracks, he staged it just like the lookalike killings. But it doesn't end there, okay, because after finding Jackie's body, Dexter confronts the show's director and the truth finally comes out, okay, the truth that we already know but that Dexter doesn't know, okay, and that is that Robert Chase is a PDF file. And suddenly all the pieces fall into place. Kathy saw something, Jackie figured it out, and now Astor, his stepdaughter, is gone. Following nothing but a sick feeling in his gut, Dexter rushes to the newly purchased house, a place that was supposed to be a fresh start for his family, but instead it's where everything is about to end. Robert catches him sneaking in and knocks him unconscious, and when Dexter wakes up, he's tied up, bruised and bleeding, staring at something you could described as being straight from a nightmare, okay? I don't know why that took so long to say. Robert is sitting with Astor. He's calm, confident, still playing the role of a charming mentor, still lying. Astor, hypnotized by the promises of stardom, stands up and is ready to help Robert kill Dexter. But just like Dexter always does, he gets away with it, okay? Because Dexter thinks fast. He tells her the truth, that Robert is finished, he's going to jail, and he will never make her famous because he's a liar and a predator. And that's when it happens. Astor snaps out of it, grabs a knife, and repeatedly stabs Robert until he bleeds out and dies. But even in victory, Dexter has nothing left. He realizes that all the evidence, Jackie's murder and Robert's death, points directly at him. And you know, nobody's there to clear his name. But then you might think to yourself, what about Rita? Can't she just, you know, clear Dexter's name? Well, she could have, if it weren't for her being, you know, bludgeoned to death moments before Dexter got into the house, okay? Because, yeah, I don't know why I made this so hard to say for me. But yeah, what I'm gonna try to say is that Robert beat her to death, okay? Moments before Dexter snuck in, or sneaked in, I don't know how you say that, but yeah, you get what I mean. And this is the moment where Dexter realizes that his luck has finally run out. Because the police are coming and, you know, Dexter's life is pretty much destroyed, okay? This is a truly it's over, they know moment. So yeah, Dexter's Final Cut, the 7th book in order, is a very, very dark book. For me, it's the most disturbing book out of all the Dexter books. Even more disturbing than Dearly Devoted Dexter, which features Dr. Danko. And if you watch this while you are in bed right now and are about to go to sleep and you are just so scared and you know can't sleep, you don't know what to do, you don't want to have nightmares, then I actually have a compilation of cats here in the end that you can watch to, you know, just clear your mind a little bit. Yeah. Thank you for watching and bye bye. See you in the next one.
Just a cat that hiccups and farts at the same time.